Okay, back at the P-47. Last time we were finishing up putting the cowl flaps on, and we went over the operation of them. Now I've got the motor installed, and it's all hooked up. Fuel line here, exhaust. Exhaust runs through the fuselage and comes out here where the wastegates were. I've got the scoops here off so they don't get damaged, and I keep this taped up because this is covered with aluminum and it's raised right here, and I don't want it to get rubbed and scratched by this cradle, so I keep them taped up. Over here we've got the electric from the engine hooked up. I tied it back to make sure that it doesn't get against this this collector ring, which gets very hot. Over here on the inside, here's the choke servo and the throttle servo, and I've marked there which direction they go so I don't forget which way is open and closed, and I have to get in there with a mirror and try and figure it out later, which I've had to do before. Inside we got the air tank, which is these connections right here. All we use that for is the main gear doors, because we've got electric gear. We've got back down in here a 4,000 milliamp battery for the electric fuel pump, which is right here. We've got a 4,000 milliamp battery over here for the ignition, which is right here in this blue box. This is a 5,000 milliamp battery for the lighting system, and then there's two 25 milliamp batteries for the receiver, and then this little 2200 amp here is for the electric gear. This is the control box for the electric gear right here, and this is the electric air valve that Dino sells, which I like, and that controls the gear doors. Fuel tank, fuel pump, and this is the line coming from it. You can see how short it is. This fuel pump is mounted on the bottom of the tank so that it self-primes basically and has no trouble whatsoever getting its prime. This is the return line right here. I've replaced these lines with regular fuel lines. The line you get with it, the pump, is this Festo line, which says right on it, pneumatic. It's basically an air line, and what we've found is that it gets hard after it runs, fuels run through it after a while, and it starts leaking around these fittings, which you can't keep tight. So I just take this off right away, and I put a regular fuel, nylon fuel, or Tygon fuel line on it. Also on the inside, you see this is the soft switch for the receiver, which is on the inside. I just leave it on all the time. And then the servos for the back are yet to be hooked up, but that completes the front. Now, I wanted to show you how easy this cowl is to put on and how we fasten it. Let me get the cowl here, and you'll see. Now, remember, it just has these tabs, and watch how I can do it with one hand here. See how easy it slides over that? Here. There. That's all there is to it. It's very simple to put on. And the way it's held on is, see the screw holes in here? Right there's one. You just open the cowl flaps, and there's 5 bolts that go around there that bolt it in from the back right in behind the cowl flaps. Very easy, because you can see with the radial in there, you're not getting through there to bolt a cowl on. There's too much in there. So that's all there is to it. And you got air permanently coming out the bottom here, the way it's set up. And then with these cowl flaps open, you can see how much air you get with those cowl flaps open, how much suction that creates and how much air gets through that cowl. It's a tremendous amount. And the P-47 isn't as open as the Corsair is. This is kind of restricted here. And what I've started doing is leaving this area blank back here I don't even cut it out, and I put the couch in here, and then this is glued to actually this. I don't cut it out any farther than that, and I leave this blocked off, and that helps with the cooling, because it directs the air through the center. Now I get these dividers. I'll still put these dividers in here. I have to do that. On this, the P-47, the center section was where the intercooler air went in, and then on either side of that was the air for the oil cooler. So that's what that divider was in there. So I'll have to add that. Let me take this back off before it falls off. Very, very easy. Okay. That's that down. That's the engine. That's basically the front. All done. And I'm gonna hook some things up on the tail, and we're about done with this as far as what I'm going to do to it. So I thought that might be helpful, showing you how this is laid out. There's 100 different ways to do all this, and quite frankly, I don't think any two that I've done are identical, but I especially like the way this is laid out. It's just everything's easy to get to, and it's pretty organized in there. And this is one thing I always do. I always put the pump on the bottom of the tank so that it primes very quickly and easily, and always has a good prime. Okay. Next time. See ya.